The A&M defense has the #1 passing defense in the SEC right now. And granted, it's against Kent State, Colorado, and New Mexico, but they've still put up some impressive numbers, just impressive defensive numbers overall. They've only given up 17 points in those 3 games. And so today I want to talk about what KJ Jefferson and the Arkansas offense needs to do against the A&M defense, and we're going to do that by looking at some of the film from last year, from the Aggies and Arkansas game from last year in 2020. And before we dive into it, just take it with a grain of salt that it is last year, right? So you got probably some you got the same system offensively, but you got a different quarterback, so you have kind of a different mindset there. And then the Aggies, what they did this year, Arkansas of course is studying as well, so there's going to be differences as well, but at least it gives us a decent idea. So we're going to look at about 4 or 5 clips here, and then we're going to look at a few clips of Jefferson. So right here we're going to see the Aggies get into a cover 1 zone here. They're going to shift the safety down, which I would anticipate them to do a lot this week with Arkansas's running game. Maybe load the box with 7 guys. Right now they have 6. Once they bring the safety in, they got 7 guys here. And so we're going to see Franks hit a deep ball here. And this is what I think Jefferson needs to do, hopefully early for Arkansas. If they can get a deep shot or 2 and complete on it, that's going to hopefully eliminate the Aggies bringing 7 in the box. Right here, they got 7 in the box, only 6 to protect right now. So 6 versus 7, probably going to be a passing play here. So Franks does a good job this play, hitting this receiver here. The safety can't get there in time. So if Jefferson can start with this and they can get a few completions deep, 1 or 2, that can hopefully keep the safety from getting out in the box and maybe get some 2-man look or 2 high safety look, if you will, or at least keep him from coming so far in the box. So we're going to go ahead and keep looking at some film here, and I want you to notice A&M's going to be in cover 1 a lot. So if Jefferson can take what the defense gives you whenever they're off coverage and then make smart decisions as well and complete some balls downfield, I really think that the Arkansas offense could potentially open up. But again, A&M's got a solid defense. They're only allowing 77 yards per game, 5.7 points per game. They've only given up 232 yards passing in 3 games. So I don't care who you're playing. That's very impressive. So you're going to need to hit some passes deep and take what the defense gives you to move on this Aggie defense. But before we go into the next clip, I just want to encourage y'all to consider subscribing to the channel if you like any quarterback-related content. Boom. Okay, let's go on and get on with the rest of the video. So here's A&M starting with a 2-man or 2 safety front look, and you're going to see, just like they do a lot, at least last year against Arkansas, they'll bring 1 safety down, just have 1 up top safety. And a lot of times pre-snap, you can kind of know when that's going to happen if they're kind of narrow, right? You see, if this safety was maybe outside the hash and this safety was at the hash, it's probably going to be a true 2 safety look. But when they're this close together, a lot of times they go down to 1. So you're going to see safety creep in here. This is actually going to be Franks is going to keep it here, and I think we'll see Jefferson do this a lot, just like we have in the first few games. Right now, there's only 6 in the box, and so we got 6 guys to take them, 6 on 6. This safety creeps down. He actually doesn't affect the play at all. If Jefferson would have kept it to him, then that's a good play by the A&M safety there. Jefferson keeps it and able to get upfield for a good game. But I think something we've already been seeing a lot with this year's Arkansas offense, you've seen this play a lot, and you've seen the tight end slip out, right? So you've seen a lot of quick plays, tight end slip out, tight end go out for a little gout route, the receiver come back here. So I think we could see several of those type of plays from Jefferson if this is the case. And obviously we're catching them with A&M blitzing here, but if Jefferson is able to keep the ball in a play like this, you, of course, can see him run, but I think we'll see the tight end come out here more too. So he's going to have that option to dump it to the tight end or to take up field, depending on the look that A&M gives. And again, A&M blitz their safety. Let's watch it from this point of view. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm messing everything up as always. Okay, here we go here. And so again, just imagine Jefferson at quarterback. Good keep here. Boom. This guy takes in. So if this backer were to come to Jefferson, if this backer were to come to Franks, then Franks would have dumped it to the tight end. The backer takes him, and so, or the DN takes him, whoever it is, and Franks keeps it. So again, same cues for Jefferson here, but I think there'll be even more of a threat to run, and that could even open up more of those short game passes. Here's a pass here that we see from Franks, but again, we see A&M with 1 up top safety. They don't even try to disguise it here. It's a true just cover 1 man under. So we got man across the board, and then we got our 1 safety that has all of this territory here. And right here, Franks is going to throw a good ball. It's a contested ball, but it's a good accurate throw. And so I think for Jefferson, to continue to keep drives going, I think there's going to have to be some completions of these kind of tight throws, tight windows. So it's a good read here because we got 6 guys In the box, you only got 5 guys to block, so it is not going to be a run here. It does bring the backers in. It creates space, but again, there's not a lot of space here, right? Covered, covered. I would say covered and even covered here, right? Because it's such a long throw, so it has to be a perfect throw, and it is a perfect throw here. So I think completing these type of throws and kind of contested coverages, or not, and contested spaces, if you will, small spaces, is something that you're going to want to see, and I think something that Jefferson can do, but Jefferson's going to need to do against A&M to keep drives alive here, because I expect to be a similar defense that they had last year. So here's an example of how the pre-snap motion can get A&M's defenders out of place. And you'll see them being one up top safety here after this motion. So we're going to see receiver here come in motion here, and then we're going to see this backer or this nickel guy blitz in to be a backer, not blitzing, I'm sorry, but move in to be a backer, and have this backer probably supposed to come out here and take the tight end, and then this safety drop down and take this receiver here, but something gets confused or mixed up along the way. So we see we got 2 backers in the same vicinity, no one shifting out here, 1 up top safety, off coverage, press man, and we'll see someone lose an assignment here somehow because if they're on the run, we see the tight end's wide open right here because the safety's going down to the receiver, and this backer probably was supposed to be on the tight end, considering it's probably cover 1 man or 3 here. So good play design. Someone missed an assignment, able to pick up what, solid 7-8 yards there. We'll go ahead and watch this point of view here. Again, backer stays here. And this is what pre-snap motion and movement can do. It can just kind of confuse defenses, get them to think a little bit too much than they want to, and then open or scheme open receivers, which happens here. So look for Arkansas to do this to get Jefferson hopefully some easy throws, not just at the beginning, but throughout the entire game, just so they can kind of take shots when needed to. But I expect some pre-snap motion just like last year, get some easy throws going, try to get A&M out of position. So this is actually the play right after the play we just watched, and we're going to see there's going to be 1 up top safety again. We got cover 1 man across the board, even though it's off coverage. It's like 2nd and 2 here, so not sure why they're playing so far off. But if A&M presents this case here or this defense here in a short situation, and you're passing or it's an RPO scheme, take what the defense gives you, just what Franks did here. If you're KJ Jefferson, just take what the defense gives you here. All you need is a few yards. You get the defenders coming out of position here, and Franks is able to take what the defense gives him. So with Jefferson, if that front is presented, that scheme is presented, that defense is presented, just take those few yards and be able to sustain a drive off those plays. So here's KJ Jefferson against Texas, and this is going to be him completing a deep ball to the receiver on the top of the screen. You can kind of see him here, and like we showed with A&M, and for this play at least, Texas has 7 guys in the box. I'm going to go ahead and count him because he's blitzing, even though it's probably technically 6 guys in the box. We'll go ahead and count him, so we'll say 6.5 maybe. But regardless, you got people loaded in the box here, and so we're going to see Jefferson complete a deep ball here. It's good blocking by the Arkansas offensive line. He's got literally, there's no penetration here. The back comes and takes him up, so it's a very good job of the offensive line. Wow, great blocking. And then Jefferson completes the deep ball here down the field. So I think Jefferson, this being one of the main things, if he can get, again, just 1 or 2 deep balls just to keep the A&M or the Aggies safeties honest and not come up and help the run, the short passing game, that can really help open up the run and the short pass again, right? So again, if Jefferson, I can't talk. If he can complete 1 or 2 deep balls like this, that can potentially help keep those Aggies safeties from creeping in. So here we're going to see Jefferson complete a short pass. The tight end ends up getting a first down. And if you remember a few plays back or a few clips back when we were watching the Aggies defense, we saw Franks keep a ball for a 13, 15-yard gain or so. But we also talked about how we could see if that D-end crashed in on the quarterback, that tight end would come open. So this is what we see here. We see the D-end and linebacker, I believe, crashing in on Jefferson. And instead of running it, of course, Jefferson dumps it off here. So I think this is another one of the main things Jefferson needs to do. I don't think there's a ton of things you don't have to go above and beyond, but I think if you just hit some deep balls and take these type of throws here, if they're going to try to limit Jefferson running, cool, just hit these type of throws here, and then eventually he'll be able to run, but you'll take that any day of the week. We'll get a nice, 7, 8, 9-yard gain right there. So again, nothing crazy that Jefferson needs to do. I think obviously take care of the football, that goes without being said, it says hitting a few deep shots and then taking these type of plays here and having sustained drives. And I think Arkansas's offense could potentially be in a good situation moving forward. So again, Jefferson against the Aggie defense. I think it's going to be a tough game because they are a talented defense, but at the same time, I think these two cues, or these two things we talked about, hitting a few deep balls and taking these short passes here for sustained drives, is what Jefferson needs to do. But I want to hear from you. Let me know your thoughts below. What do you think KJ Jefferson needs to do against the Aggies defense? Let us know in the comments below, and we'll see you next time in the next quarterback related video.